Det bästa visst första vi har satt oss ner i den. Så där särskilt. Vi blir bäst. Ja.
Okay, I can you hear? You can hear. Okay, that's good. And you have beer enough? Okay, that's good. Okay, still somebody coming. Okay, good evening. God morgon eller hur går det? We lost the very last night, so we were sleeping on the harbor of what was that called yeah, it was nice to sleep there 4 hours to wait. We get the first one, 7:15, the ferry. So it was nice evening also nice night in the car. But it's not so cold, and we have our own blanket with succeedingly. But so hey, welcome. So my name is Pekka Kääriäinen because it's so complicated to pronounce. It's better to say it myself. But they are calling me also Sahti-Pekka because I'm known as the Sahti founder and long history about that. I started in 1970 to brew as a home brewer, and that's why it was my hobby for a long time. I had a wedding 1980, so my wife is here. I was brewing to my wedding 3 batches, each 50 liters, so it's 150 liters. We drank all of them in the one evening. Maybe something was left on the morning. And during the night, we were celebrating until 6 o'clock in the morning. And one of our friends told me that, could I stay sleeping here during this night? I said, no, please, not this night. Please, no, not this time. Okay, but that's it. So, and then I was in the high school, Helsinki School of Economics, and I was just thinking about what should be my thesis. And I wrote my pro-gradu with the production of the sahti-bryggeriet. I started maybe 1984 or 5. I make a little brewery with 200 liters because I have a lot of experience to doing it with old vessels like wooden vessels and like making it with a fire and no measuring anything. And then we make a lot of experience about measuring it quite exactly about the temperatures, about the mashing. It was, if you know, infusion. It was so close, but because in the beginning we just add in first the malt in, and then a little bit warm water, like hand warm, and then a little bit water, and in the last adding boiling water, and then it was cooked, but not cooked. It ought to be that just fire under the batch, and then just shaking it a lot of, and when there came a little bit foam over it, and the color was a little bit getting red, and that's now it's ready. And we are using normal. If there is some, before I tell about a little bit more about that, but I start about this sahti. So the raw materials what we use now is 500 kilos, but that there you get the idea that 500 kilos barley malt. It's made by the Viking malt nowadays, and rye malt 5%. That means 25 kilos of rye malt, and the malt is coming from Viking malt, and the rye malt is tuopits from the Laihia Mallastedes. But they are both of malt, and the rye malt is very dark. It's black, totally, and that's why the color of sahti is quite dark. The color is coming from the rye malt. And there is my young wife Sirpa is here in the picture. Yes. Yeah, it's. I know exactly how they make it, because they are making so-called home beer from that. You can make it from the malt or from the extract, but there are still people who are making it from the malt, and you can buy this malt all over in Finland in the normal shops also. But and it's very common on the like a lunch and so on. You have a fermented only rye malt, but it's called kotikalja, home beer. But I think there is no alcohol, or maybe 0.5% or something like that. It's just fermenting. You put it fermenting with the water today, and it will be drink tomorrow. It's very common in Finland. You get it almost everywhere, kotikalja, with the lunch especially. And that is the mashing tun now. We had a small one. This is the third equipment what I was building. The first one was the wooden vessels. The second one was what was experimental 200 liter, and then we built 1988 a bigger brewery for making this sahti, and it's 14 hectares size. And also the lautetan, I show you a little bit later a picture about it, and it was quite a big 2,000 liters, the biggest in the world. It's even in the Guinness record of the Guinness book, 1988. But what is important? It is raw materials like barley, rye malt, and then of course the juniper. And you have the juniper. I was just tasting today. Somebody has the juniper with us, and I have brought this juniper also to the States, because I've been brewing there in 4 different breweries, this sahti. But the taste of the juniper in the States is totally different. There's no taste of juniper, at least what we have in Scandinavian. And it's like pine or something. I went to a forest in Colorado and also in Connecticut and tried to taste took the wood and taste it, but it doesn't taste at all. That's why we are producing also small amounts of juniper chips. But we are using the whole branches. People always ask, do you use the berries? Of course, if there is berries, we use them, but doesn't matter. And the amount for 40 hectares, I don't measure it. It's like this. It's old way. So I collected some of it and we put it. I saw it also how it will be there under. That means that we are just cutting the leaves, and there are bigger lines, electric lines, and they cut everything else away. Only the juniper is allowed to grow there because it's so low. And so there's like a field, and that's where we collect them. We have the license to go there, and the landowner let us to go there. And this is the lautetan. The form is the same as it used to be, a wooden one. It was one from one very large wood, and cover it inside. And this is the form is the same. It's old from the old dairy. It has the sour milk made. We turn it like this, and it's working quite perfect. And we are still using it. But there is the idea is that we put the juniper leaves under there's a filter plates, and this comes over it, and so we pump the mass when it's mashed, so just over it, and it's taking the taste of the juniper there. You can ask if you want any time.
You say it's taking to. So this is not like you don't make juniper in the water before you mash it.
No.
Filtering, right?
Just for filtering. When I started it, I I was making, because the wooden vessels, they are not so clean. We always check that we kick the chicken away when we start making the the sahti, but that means that how to clean the vessels. Of course, you can wash them and put some water and so, but you can't use any soap or so. That means that I was cooking hot water with the juniper leaves, and we use that cooked boiling water in the wooden vessel, and that's, I know that then it's sterile after, and we use these juniper leaves and put them under the, like here, but then they were wooden bricks, and then was coming the juniper leaf there, and that is the filter bed, and then the mass is over the same way, but now the size is bigger now what we are doing. And this is a little bit because I still have this 1988 vessels. All the vessels were from the dairies, sour milk vessels, the both, but now we have an external heater, so we can make also beer. And about the Lammin Sahti, it's founded 1987, and I have been doing a little bit beer also. Otherwise, I started the Lappeenrannan Panimo in eastern Finland 1963, and Bryggeri Helsinki in the middle of Helsinki 2013, and I sold this Bryggeri Helsinki 2 years ago to Hartwall, the big brewery, because there was a corona and no clients. It was quite a big. We have a 10 hectares Kaspar Schultz cooking vessel. But now we renew our system, and my sons is running it. I'm retired, like my wife too, and they are running the brewery, making beer. But I'm still making sahti, and Sirpa is packing them, and so it's in my blood. So I brew something like maybe 15 times in a year. It depends on about. So you can count that it's about 20,000 liters in a year. It's a very small amount of the beer. And the whole consumption of the beer is quite low. But this is also very important. This is the fermenting. This is the beginning of the fermenting. We are using baking yeast, and as you see, this is beginning. It's just growing up. The yeast is coming up, and the temperature in the fermentation is about 22, and we have to cool it because it's just jumping. If you don't cool it, it can go so easily over 30 or even more, and then you get quite a bitter taste. It's not good. But in anyhow, the fermentation is very quick. In one day, when it starts, tomorrow it's fermenting like, and the third day it's almost over. It's going down already. This baking yeast, and that is the most important for the taste, because it's giving this fruity taste, this banana flavor. When it's fermenting, you smell a lot of banana. I have had a friend of visitors there, and they asked, "Are you really using bananas?" I said, "Of course, a lot of bananas here." No way, we are not using it at all. But the rye malt and the yeast is giving the most of the flavor of it. There's nothing, and remember though, after making the birth, we are not cooking it. That's why everything is there. It's a liquid bread because it's so much thing on it. There are everything is there because it's not cooked. We are not using hops. It's possible, but there is no use to use. Before we used some handies of hops, whole hops, but there's no taste, no color, no bitterness. Because it's not cooked. It's not worth to use. Juniper is much easier and much more important. And I think they started to use juniper because they recognize that it's giving also a longer life for the beer. And sahti is living product. It means that it so long it's fermenting, it's in good condition. Like today, the yeast there wasn't yeast at all, as I see, and that after fermentation, maybe 4th or 5th day after the start of the fermentation, we pump it to a cellar, and it's quite cold. It's Sirpa can say is it 4 degrees or something like that. And when it's there, they are lying tanks, and when it's there, the yeast is going down, and we take the sahti over it. That means that there is very less yeast, and because it's okay, yeast is okay, but I have also seen sahtis where is a lot of yeast, and then of course you taste it also. But this how we see that it's more the sahti itself gives more the flavor and the taste of the sahti better on. And so this is how we are packing. Today we have that in this 3-liter canister, and this is the culture. People want to buy it in the canister. We have this packing box we have before. Now we have packing boats, and it's quite good because if it's cold, so and it's not taking oxygen. When you have it in a fridge, you just take some sahti out, and the package is going down. It's better than this canister, but they want to buy it because it's the culture. They have been used to go to houses to buy some maybe it's some oil canister, whatever it is they own, but they own and they have washed them, and so they could buy it. But that's why I think most of the liters we are still selling in the plastic canister. And of course we have the bottles also, 1 liter and half a liter bottle, but they are this patent cork. That means that if it's fermenting, it's not dangerous because it's not exploding, just the sealing is coming out of it. And I have started also the Finnish Sahti Society, and through that we have got this cover from the EU. That means that the recipe is ought to be like this. And I was writing this thesis for what is sahti and what is not. That means that you can use raw materials. What are the historical raw materials? That means all the malted grains and unmalted grains also, and then materials what is from the history coming like juniper or hops, or even if somebody told us that they are using some berries, it's okay. I know you can't say that it's not okay, but no added sugar, that is forbidden. And the original gravity ought to be at least 16.5, and that means that the alcohol is at least 6.5, and above it's not said. And we are talking about the plateau.
This is Finland. It's a minimum.
Minimum, yeah. But that means because it's sahti, because there's a lot of people who try to, why we can't change the recipes, why it can't be, because now in the shops we can sell 5.5%, and people wanted to use the name. They want to make sahti-ipa and for sahti-apa and whatever. I said, why? Because the name is so good. But I said, no, you can make whatever you want, but don't name it sahti if it's not sahti. And but why don't we can create a new recipes for the sahti? I said, of course, but it's not sahti because I see it also that it ought to be like in the genre what it is, and there are some experimental that they have been doing or trying to sell sahti what is not sahti at all, like overhopped, like IPAs or something. It's not sahti because it's not belong there. And also there is no CO2 because it's warm fermentation. It flows away when you pump it in a cold. It's not fermenting anymore, and so that's why it's flat. I've been selling a lot of in not a lot, but in many occasions in German, and to explain them that they take it like this, and they taste it. Oh, it's a strange thing. And no foam, no bubbles, strange taste. What is it? Then I have to tell them, hey, what it is? It is the culture beer from Finland, and no foam, no CO2. It belongs there. And then when they get the idea, then it's, oh, that's good. It's the same character as the German dark wheat beer. It has a lot of banana, but no CO2. That's a big difference. But the taste is a lot of. And today I've heard that there's some candies in Norwegian which is tasting exactly like that. There's many people came to us and, hey, this is some kind of banana candy or whatever it is. You know it much better. But the serving temperature, usually I like it cold, like maybe under 10 degrees Celsius, because it's if it's warm, it's getting too much flavor because they're coming too much. Yeah, it's not so good to drink. But the alcohol content is 7.5, so it's a price. And I have seen people who has been drinking too much, and they say that you can drink yourself legless. That means your brains are still working, but you start to walk and you are not walking anymore. You have no legs. Even if we have one sahti competition, and there was an older guy from the northern part, a little bit north of in Finland, and he was lying on the grass, ear on the grass and sleeping. The sun was shining, and his friend came and look at our friend. He was Pentti. Pentti is hearing the worms. I've never. I thought that's very nice to hear the worms. What are they doing under the earth? But it's still alive. There is coming later something about that. But I saw you in the beginning. There was about this picture. I tell you, that's why about the situation in Finland. This is a little bit old, 2018, before the corona. We have a little bit more than 100 small breweries, and the amount of the production is a little bit more than 20 million liters. That market share is not shown there, but it's about 6% of the whole consumption. And I think the situation is at the moment the same. There is, through the corona, there are some closing, but some news came also for the small breweries. And this picture is very important for me. There is Lammin Sahti, our old cow house. And now our sons has taken, I have 2 sons, they have taken over the leading the brewery. They have renewed, they have even taken the roof out of the building, clean it, painted it, put the plates back. They saved 20,000 euros with that. And inside is totally renewed. And the new building here is coming my show in near my so close to my heart because I'm building a malt sauna for the floor malting sauna. Totally new, but very old. I show you more pictures about this. But these the raw materials, and about the raw materials, they can be used also. Some of the parts I show you later on map. They can use also some other, like we are using rye malts. Other people are not using rye malt. They can use some wheat. It's a little bit lighter and tastes also more hazy. And they used to use also the rye straw, but you don't get it anymore because the machines are cutting it and put it in a piece. You have to collect it before the harvesting, and it's not common anymore. Juniper is important, but there are also sahtis without juniper. It's also allowed. It's not, you don't have to use it, but we are used to use it, and I like it. It's a part of the thing. And the yeast can be baking yeast or collected yeast, like Quake. You are using this you are using it many times. We can use it also, but it's not common because you can go to a shop and buy a new yeast every time. We go to a yeast factory and we collect the new yeast batch every time because I like to have our sahti as it's almost equal. It is not because it's also depending about the time, how old it is. But anyhow, it's so close as possible. Different batches between. We have won also the best Finnish beer competition, the whole competition 2012, and this is very nice because I started this competition 13 years ago. I was talking a lot of many years that we ought to have our own competition in Finland, that we accept all the beers made in Finland. It doesn't matter if it's a big brewery or small brewery, but it ought to be a commercial brewery. And all the beers. This year we have a little bit more than 50 breweries and over 400 different beers. And then one of the categories, there was 11 or 12 categories, and one of the categories winner is always selected as the best beer of the year. We won it 2000. It's nice to have a competition started and then you win it. Wasn't not the idea. But this is also something new, and look at the price. But what we have made from the sahti, we have distillery, small distillery, 150 liters the batch. We collect all the afterworth of sahti, and the original gravity is about 15, could be even 16, and we get maybe 200 liters from each batch. We let them fermentation, like sahti. We distill it, put it in the wooden barrel, and this is 9 years old, and the name is Spirit of Sahti. It's quite good, and as you see, we just sold a month ago our whole production from 2014, I suppose, 200 bottles from the monopoly, and that's why the price is a little bit higher than the normal. But we won also bronze in the spirit competition in London, and also the craft spirit in Berlin. It's not so bad. So I think it's very drinkable. We get almost one barrel, 200 liters per year, and we are selling it also in the festivals. Today you have been tasting the home brewers. I have made this many years. The tasting in international competition. This is from Brussels beer contest, and this is one of the biggest this year. Is the European Beer Star. This year it was in Nuremberg. We have about 2,400 different beers and the category was 72, a little bit more than 100 tasters. 2 days we put them in the categories and the winners, and that's nice. From 60 to 80 tastings per day. And next weekend I'm in competition in Prague. It's Golden Bohemia, and Brugge's Beer Challenge is coming. The farthest way I've been in Brazilian. We were together with my wife, so it was nice because they have all the beers from the jungle also. They have 168 categories, and that was the first time I ever met with this Grotecki in Brazilian. I never heard about it. And then there's a category, Grotecki beer, smoke wheat beer, and I hadn't no idea how it ought to be, and we didn't find the winner of the category, but we gave some silver for some, because some small brewery was doing. Then there was 1,600 different beers. Now there is over 4,000 beers in the competition. Yeah, but the tasting is, for me, I've educated a little bit in 1989 or something like that in those wrong tastes, like flour, like onion and glue and whatever it is. I know them, but you have to distill, of course, and so you have find them, but you have to trust on your own mouth because you have the tasting. We are tasting differently. We have the different history and we taste differently, but it's always a combined of taste. And just trust your tasting, and I have experience in 14 years in European Beer Star. But this is the map. I was talking about the Sahti, that the Finland is about 1,000 kilometers high, and there are two areas. Is here in the Häme, and this is the North Satakunta and Etelä-Pohjanmaa and this is collected from the data from the Viking malt, because Viking malt is producing the Sahti malt, the only one. Now there's coming something else, but this is from 1990 or 1989 or something like that. This category, and they are the kommunen where it is alive culture, and that means that you can go in a shop and buy a batch of Sahti malt from the shop. It was 20 kilos as shown, now it's 25 kilos, but doesn't matter. So the shop is not keeping it if it's not selling, and that's quite a good data because we know it exactly where it is delivered. And now we want to have also from the EU that we ought to get the idea about the Sahti, that it's original from this area, because it's not like cognac and champagne and so on. That's much more powerful for that, not only the recipes but also the cover for the EU. And because we are arranging, I founded this Finnish Sahti Society 1989 or something like that, and so we started Finnish Championship sahti-brygging 1991, and we accept only home brewers. And for that competition, these communes, they send their best producer of that area. They have the local competition, and they send the winner to the championship, and then they bring their own judge to the competition. And here is from this year the competition. So they are judging, and those judges are the friends or relevance or whatever. If the brewer wants, he asks, "Do you want to come to my judge?" And they come. This year there was about 50 different sahtis, and so there are 3 rounds, and selecting the best sahti. In the last round, there's 6 best sahtis, and everybody is tasting them and putting them in a line, and that means that we also give prizes for the 6 best, and all of the others are on the place of 7. Nobody is the last. That's important, and that is for the hobby brewers, and it's very serious competition. Here are the competitors. So afterwards, they get a reward that they have been in the competition, and but they don't know who is the winners this time. And then we have opened the envelopes, and we don't know who is going to win it. Nobody knows it, because we put the names in the envelope. We put those envelopes in the canisters when they have brought it, at least 10 liters, and then we just put some numbers there, and in the envelope and in the canister, and then we took away those closed envelopes, and so we know maybe number 52 or 17 is the winner, and so afterwards we just open the cases who is the winner of the game. We start from the number 6, and here are this year the winners. He's the winner, and as you see, here's the winner. It's made of juniper. We made it in 1991 at once, and they get a name every winner every year. They give them. Then it's going to the next next winner, and now it's full of them. And she was so proud, this lady, the winner, who was, and the others also. And this means that they have been winning it before. You get this hat, the winner's hat. It's from the wooden hat, and he has do his hand once, twice. He has those. He has even have the two hats on ours. It's about, and they get this name on this, and of course they get their own harika. That is called harika with two handle wooden vessel, which are made of juniper. They get their own, and surprise, surprise, they get a lot of malt from the Viking malt. And the winner gets a 5 batches of the and the others get 1 batches. And the 7 on the place of 7, so they are only proud to be. Maybe next year we win it. Yeah, but there is a lot of people. They are just winning the competitors, judges, and hundreds of people visiting this place. It was very nice. They have maybe some program, and then there's also the invitation for the next year's competition. Next year it will be in I suppose it is 4th of August in Isojoki, in that area where I was showing on the above area, because we moved the competition from different commune to different commune. So because it's not so far away, this year is close and next year is far away, and so on. It's easier for all the people, and I like this competition because it's so nowadays. So the people are so enthused, and they are so when they are waiting for who is the winner, and then the others, oh shit, and they are, oh, I'm the winner of the game.
Emotional Finnish people.
Yeah, surprise. Yeah, we accept only. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not. But I think this has some influence about because the oldest one was 95 and the youngest one is 15 years. And as what we see is it's raising the worth of sahti, and it's people are really proud of it. And Michael Jackson, somebody maybe know him, not the singer one, but the beer guru. He has been twice in our brewery, and he came to Finland because of sahti, and he thought that in sahti you can taste the roots of Finland, and that's very nicely said, because really all the ingredients it's a beer before the beer time. It was collected from the harvesting from our own field. We collected the juniper from the forest. We malted them to the beer home, and also the yeast before the baking yeast. It was collected yeast, so that you could try it like wake the same way, handle the same way. You can handle it in the like leaves from the patch or birch, or you can just put it in the bottle and some sugar and put it in the well or whatever it is. So
You said there was a strong banana
yes,
flavoring, and with baker's yeast, regular baker's yeast,
yes,
and no high temperatures,
no, not.
Okay.
Yeah, the high temperature is over 20 when it's fermenting, but not higher.
Because well, maybe the baker's yeast in oil would be something like raw.
Yeah.
So
In Norway they use a baking yeast as well. Some people.
yeah,
But, it makes a different flavor.
there's no
Yeah, but it may be for the roots, because we in Finland we have I know maybe in Norway, so we have a East Bank by VTT, and they are making the same way as the breweries. They have the root or the original in the bank, and they collect every now and on. I don't know how many times in a year, or do they find a new one, new variety, grow it, like in Carlsberg or the way in any other clean environment, and then they make this yeast, and we collect this yeast every time directly from the factory. they let me do it because we get 3 liters small canister from the factory, and the others are order it with cubic meters canisters. And so we go there and please, can we have it? This and or they have even a small pipeline made for us, so we have it. It's always new one, and that's why we don't have to wake it up like we wake it up when I go to a shop and want to buy it. So I make it with the worth.
You don't need to make a starter. You just
No, just click there. Yeah.
The yeast profile in your beer is much cleaner than the other commercial sahtis. Do you think this is maybe because you collect the yeast in this way, or
It's could be because it's fresh. It's so important to have everything fresh. Doesn't matter if it's a bread or whatever. Everything ought to be fresh. And at least I have I'm sure that it's in good condition, because if I go to a shop and I can buy it in every shop in Finland in cold. But I know if it's when you open the package, you see it's a little bit gray or dry, and so if it's in, who knows? I'm sure it works. I'm sure that works. Yeah.
Other commercial sahti-brewers, they use the same baking yeast as you?
Yeah.
So all of them use the same yeast?
Yes. Yeah. There's only one factory. It's not. It's owned by the Canadian Lammin, but it's Finnish. It's Suomen hiiva. Finnish East is the name. Yeah.
well, I'm sorry for not knowing this, but you're using the Viking malt.
Yep.
And you're using the rye malt.
Yep.
You're using the same yeast.
Yes.
Everybody who's making this using the same raw materials.
Yeah, but you can mix them. Not exactly, because they can be using some other, like wheat malt and less rye malt, or even without rye malt. And in the competition we see these different sahtis. Some of them are like yellow, totally like a cream, and some are totally black. Like, and that is a variety. But usually the winner is what we have here. It was quite dark. It could be a little bit lighter. It's a compromise always, because 50 tasters around Finland is coming there, and they're tasting. So there's no too much juniper, not too much yeast. It's not too sharp. It ought to be quite soft and drinkable for the winner. And I think we have quite close our sahtis about that common taste, but it's not exactly that. And there is one thing is differs also. It's not a different series, but there are people who are making. They call it a grain sahti. That means that they can use unmalted rye. But the process is very long. They start today mashing it, and maybe tomorrow they make the sahti, and the taste is totally different. It's like a listery, and it's, of course, you don't get so much sugar because it's unmalted and only rye, and very dark, and the taste is quite different. And they said that they wanted to have why don't we have a category for different category for them, but we want to do it this, but we don't say that you have to use Viking malt or you have to use Tuoppi or whatever. They do as they do have to used to do, and that's their sahti, and they are very proud of it. And there is one thing, I don't have pictures, but there's, for this competition, there are the support troops are coming also, and they have their own cars. Somebody is coming with a bigger car, somebody smaller. They have the tents, and behind they have the competitors have their own parking yard, and so they open the trunks, and so I can't go there because I get killed because taste this, and there are people going and giving, like today here. So they are going and taste this sahti, and that's good. They have the tents and they have the chairs, and they are just sitting there and because they have nothing to do during the day, because the judges are are working, and competitors they have time to drink and serve the beer for the others. And that's so dangerous for especially for me, because they want to say, you have to taste this, you have to taste this, and I said, okay, I taste this. Oh, the whole glass. Yeah.
The judge that comes from one commune, he should recognize the beer that comes from his commune, and he should vote for it, right?
No.
Their local community, is that true?
No, that's not true, because you don't know it, because there is this, you don't know what you are tasting. They are not all numbered cups, and of course, if they knew, and sometimes they say, I knew that is that sahti, but I'm not so sure, because in the beginning we divide those judges in 4 different groups, and they get 4 different sahtis. On the second round, we turn them around, and they don't get the same sahtis even. In the last round, everybody's tasting the 6th best beer, best sahtis. That is the, so you can influence so much you want, but you don't know is it there or not. And there are many of them are so close each other that if you say that it is, I know this, yeah.
What everyone told me was that they expect the judge to do this, and all the judges say they can't.
No, of course not. Yeah, of course.
We met this woman who was in the competition in Gotland, and she said she was very unhappy about the traitor judge who voted for the Swedish beer. And then we learned, after she says this, we learned, oh, that was 20 years ago. And the day after, we meet sahti-bryggere, and it turns out he is the traitor judge. And every time he meets her in the shop, she tells him, you fucking
That's good. That could happen. I've been twice in Gotland's Veldmaster Cup in Gotland, in Sweden, and that was the first time. They have a mycket bra, excellent mycket bra godkänt or usel, and then you have to just make a cross and that, for that, and one of the tasters drank all the samples. In half of the day, so we have a coffee pause, and we were going to drink a coffee, and he was going to sleep. And afternoon, we started again around, and he was so drunk, and there was half 4 paper, and he just with one eye make the whole paper like this. You didn't know what he's doing. Then I asked about it, at why they can add honey on the or even sugar. And I said, why you are adding sugar or honey afterwards with already Gotland drikku? They said, yes. The judges are they are liking the sweet things. I said, no, that's not true, because if it's a Gotland drikku, it ought to be Gotland drikku, not very sweet. Honey is okay, I find it's okay, but if it's too much, it's too much. It's, you don't find any more that. But it could happen that in the same family, there's a husband has a normal, and the wife is adding some sugar because they have 2 possibilities to win the competition. And in the evening they were eating these lamskulls, and in the first time I was there, and they said there was why 2 press people behind me and said, why didn't Finnish guys, are you not eating those? You don't like these lamskulls? Of course I eat the eyes, but if there is snaps enough, and then they brought me a snaps, and I took the eye, and that's it. We were with the Sahti Society next year there, and I was in the first line like you, and so the other Finns were in the back line, and then during the dinner they just stand up, they have an eye in the fork, and they say, Perkele! That's it. But from the Sahti, I told you about the malt house, and I found I bought it 20 years ago, an old riihi. It's for drying the grains, different grains, and it was quite in a good condition. It has a roof, and it was made of 1898, 125 years ago, and we are just building it up. And I'm trying to make a floor malting. First watering the grain, and then on the floor, growing 7 days, turning it 2 or 3 times in a day, lift it up, heat the sauna, open the doors for the open thing, and try it with the heat and with the smoke. I know what's coming on, but that is the way how it used to be done. But nobody is doing it anymore in Finland this way, because they are not now. There is coming new small malteries, but they have usually they have these drum making, and of course it's much more simple. But I want to get this old style of making. Like Viking malt, they used to do it. It was Lasten Polttomo before they stopped to make floor malt in 1955 or something like that.
Bonsack malting, or what does this? I think Bonsack does this.
There could be.
Floor malting.
Yeah, but it's. I don't think it's about the floor.
No. Okay.
Yeah, but it's very interesting because it's growing about 7 days, and you have to turn it, because otherwise it's growing, so you don't get the grains out of it. And when there is a growing is about 1 centimeter, you just lift it up and try to kill it, and then of course to clean it also afterwards. But that's interesting. I'm making most myself, and we have a, I know what it's called in English, but we had a, I asked the friends to help me, and they come 10, and in 5 hours we took it up, down, and move it. But the building is of course it's a little bit takes a little bit more time. Now it's in the top, but I don't have a roof yet there. But maybe next year. The other thing is that about the festivals, we have been doing this 2003. This is a Great Beer Small Breweries Festival. We accept only small breweries, but this is commercial breweries. They can't be the home brewers because it's we are selling the beer. And this is from Helsinki railway station. We arrange it in 6 different towns. If you are coming in Finland next year, you see the towns, and from the greatbeers.fi you find also the timetables. This year we had 40,000 visitors, and this is also very important for the many small breweries. We had this year maybe 40 different small breweries in the festival, and the system is that we hire the place for them, but we organize everything else. We have the tents and the security and the program and selling the tickets, and it's free income until 18 o'clock daily. But it's good to buy a glass, and glass costs €5. If you give it back, you get €2 back. But we are using glasses, and there are places where you can spool them, and the prices of the we have 0.1, 0.2, and 0.4 liters, so they can select, and the prices also depends from €2 to maybe 10 euros per glass. Depends about the beer. Normally normal 0.4 is about €6 or so, 6 to 7 euros. 8. Okay. 8.
Inflation.
Okay, inflation. But if it's like Imperial Stout or like Sahti or so, it's more expensive. And after 18 hours, so there is a ticket, €15, including the glass. And the people are quite happy to be here, and we don't accept any any big breweries to taking part, and the breweries they get 70% of the sellings. We have get the 30, and we have to cover all the costs with this 30%, because like in Helsinki, that costs us about 150,000 euros to build it up. This year we have it in 2 weeks time, and next year only 1 week.
So what's the definition of a small brewery compared to a medium or a large one? How do you sort of range those breweries? When you say small breweries,
It's quite easier because I have also put through the legislation. There's a directive from the EU that the breweries under 20 million liters get,
EU standards.
yeah, and they can have reducted cost of the taxation, beer taxes. And in Finland, the limitation is 15 million liters. But we have the steps. But it doesn't matter if you are if you are a category small brewery, you are welcome. And you are part of the Finnish Small Brewery Association. I was running it 20 years, not anymore, 2030. But that's because so they are also taking part of our whole, and about 80% of the small breweries are on in this society, Finnish, and this is one of the fortile for them, and the people are very quite happy. Of course, it depends about the weather. If it's raining, that's why we have to rent also the tents. To if in like in Helsinki, we get under the cover, so under the tents at least 500 people. If it's raining, it's not disturbing the whole thing. And in the summertime, between end of May and end of August, we have all these happenings. These, of course, there is other festivals also, and also winter festivals, but we are not arranging any more winter festivals. We have so bad experience about them, and people are not drinking so much in the winter. I've seen it many times. So that is good, and the people are happy because they can taste the small ones like you. Like here also, so they can go, and it's quite cheap also to have the different beers, and now the brewers, they usually have 10, even 20 different type of beer. They have the taps, and they can have bottles, or they can have cans, or they can have ciders, and now they have long drinks and or distills. Doesn't matter what they bring, what they themselves brew or make, they can bring to their own states. It's about 4 meters, and they build it up. They have a very nice different kind of departments what they build. And we have also a small shop there where we can now sell until 5.5% beers out for the clients, and next year it's rising. Maybe they promise that it until 8%. That's good, because that's the limitation in Finland between the alcohol monopoly and the normal separate. Now it's 5.5%. It used to be 4.7, but they raised it maybe 3 years ago. It was raised to 5.5, and they thought that it's a catastrophe. The Finns are drinking themselves out of the map, but nothing happens because we have the alcohol taxes are also progressive. The more alcohol you have, the more you are paying. The tax is about Finnish normal brewery 5% beer. You pay about 2 euros tax. I know that you have almost equal or even bigger. I'm not sure, because Finland and Norwegian are the winners of the game of the taxation of alcohol.
4.7. Yeah, I mean, in a wine monopoly in Norway,
Yeah.
every beer beyond 4.7 is referred to as strong alcohol.
Yeah.
So everything above 4.7, you have to buy in the wine monopoly.
Yeah, I know.
So, you know,
5.5 is the limitation in Finland. but we have the one exception. The small breweries can sell in one place nearby the brewery their own beer until 12%. That's why we have our own shop also, Lammin Sahti, where we can sell also Sahti because 7.5. And now we are waiting. We have a new government, if it stands so long, but they have promised that they could be even get license to sell the spirits and even deliver for the customers. This is a big thing because it's forbidden to buy abroad or order abroad. Even you pay the taxes, or you have to pay at least the taxation. But I have been during my life I've been always doing the beer, especially Sahti is so close to my heart, and I was a farmer also. We have vegetables over 10 years. Started in 1975, and we ended it maybe 1991 or so on. And I started this Lammin Sahti. It was not so. It was quite small. It is still small, one of the smallest breweries. Now the sons have turned a little bit more, and now we are also producing beers, and we can also can them and separate them and so on. Like one of our favorite beers is now this juniper pils. We are using the same way the junipers in Sahti, but it's pils. It's quite good hopped and lager beer, but it's good, and so the canning line is also a new thing, and also the fermentation vessels came from the China just before the Ukraine war, because they came with a train through the Siberia, and that was lucky. Maybe some months before it started this fighting, so it was very bad. But so I can answer your questions, but here's still one picture. We have a beer wagon, and we have also a beer wagon in Berlin like this. I've been selling Finnish craft beers in many occasions and trying also to sell it a little bit more. Of course, the time is not the best one. We have after the corona, now is the war, and now we have the inflation, and people are buying still beer, but they are buying the cheaper one, and that we see at once. We see it, I think, all over the world. You can see it that the small breweries have difficulties about the pricing and selling. The pressure to put the prices down, and also the consumers are selecting cheaper beers. And that's why, like the festivals, it was still working, not so well as before the corona, but it's still working, and that's why this is very important for many small breweries. And also in the beginning, when we started this festival, the people asked that why should we pay to come to drink beer. I said in the beginning it was maybe €1. So, and in the beginning we have plastic caps, but now we have, after the second year, we order it the glass, and then they ask it, don't you have even the plastic beer or the plastic glasses? You have to pay to come in here. I said, oh, mad thing. But now it's turned totally. Now the green things are coming. So and we have got also prices for this green prices, because we are using so less of the waste, and even the food deliverers, they have to use the paper, what you not, and wooden things, that we are not using plastic. We try to avoid it, but of course it's coming from the packages and so on, but so less waste as possible. And also the clients are interested, and what we have inflated, I'm sure that we have been also inflated for the people, that it's raising the amount of the interested people about the different tasting because the tasting is in the heart of this happening, not the amount. I see that we want that the people taste maybe 10 different beers instead of drinking too big. Because in the beginning, when we started in some towns, they didn't understand what is the idea. They went that, okay, I take a big one, and then they sit on the table and take in the sun, and nowadays you see that people go there, and the idea is also that the brewers, if it's possible, at least the breweries, the people are behind the desk, so they can really discuss that. Hey, this is our brewery. What ingredients, what kind of hops we have, what are kind of barleys, malts we have used, and what is the specialty about that. And then we have this and this, and so it's much easier for the people also to get known what's going on, and it's raising also the interest about the people. And we go always in the middle of the towns, so the people, we don't have to lock them. They just jump in or fall in, like this. This Helsinki is in the middle of the railway marketplace, so it almost in the marketplace is in Turku and by the Dome. It's very nice environment. So
You're also in Berlin?
uh,
You say you were in Berlin.
yes, I've been in Berlin many times, and
What purposes do you have sold this beer?
yeah, we yes.
So
We-
where in Berlin?
I have had a restaurant in Prenzlauer Berg, and I have a small storage in Wedding. But we are taking in this year. I've been in Lübeck, Celle, Hannover, Potsdam twice, Berlin, and Münster, and also we were in Vienna, and but to sell the Finnish craft distillers and beers, it's quite complicated because the pricing. But it's nice to send without taxes the beers like in German and pay the German taxes, because the 5% beer in German, the taxes is less than 10 cents, and in Finland 2 euros. That's comparing, and they have the VAT is also 90. We have 24. That's why this I can sell the 0.4 in 6 euros. It's okay. They don't. We have also had a queue in many towns, so I don't know that we are in a right. We are doing the right thing, but that's only the festivals. I want to sell them a little bit wider. That's why we have created also a package like this. This what we try to sell. This is 6 different beers from the small breweries. No point. It's craft beer from Finland and in German, and just labeling. And we have in all the we have in Deutsche Fund system, and you have to be green punct and whatever it is. Also in German, it's very complicated also. And the German this fund it's so strange. We have to put the stickers in all the, and you have to buy them only from the accepted printers. So it's also complicated. But hey, that's it. But I want to ask that, do you have questions, or should we discuss about because like that's very interesting here to hear about the quake, because it's so close to Sahti, as I see, and the culture is also, and the same kind of a culture we have been in with Sahti Society. We have been traveling. We have been in Gotland, in Saaremaa, in Estonia. If you go there, they have this Saaremaa kotuolut. They have almost the same culture, that they were brewing at home, and the people were collected for their own, or selling them. Like it's illegal all over, but the people are doing. Like in Finland, the winners of the Finnish Sahti competitions, they could get so much new friends who are keen to buy it, but it doesn't matter, so it's okay. Yeah, that's good. Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.